Hello, my name is Chris, and today I want to continue talking about depression. I made a video that I posted yesterday called My Depression Story Part 1, in which I spoke to you about my early experiences with depression, learning what depression was, and then masking that depression and that pain and that emptiness with alcohol. I told you about how I managed to get sober despite the depression, but I also told you that just because I stopped drinking didn't mean the depression went away. It's still something that is with me. And today I want to tell you more about my story, about dealing with depression without masking it with alcohol or drugs or anything like that. If you haven't seen that first video, it may make more sense to you to pause this one and go and watch that one. I'll put the little card up there so you can click it and go watch that video. I'll also leave the link down there. When you're ready, come back and I'll be stood here like this waiting for you. Okay, we ready? I was like that the whole time, I promise, waiting for you. So now we're up to speed. And I'll just start by reiterating something I said at the end of that first video, which is that after a long battle of depression and drink problems, I had my last drink in October 2012. And then I went on to have what would become the best year of my life up to that point. The times I spent as a child, because I was bullied, isolating myself, withdrawing, I spent most of that time writing. That followed me through into a career. I got to become good at writing. So when I finally put the drink down, I was in a good place. I got a job, a copywriting job, and it was amazing. I worked with some wonderful people, we had a great laugh. The money was amazing. I know money's not the most important thing, but it was amazing. It was a 6-month contract that ended. I started my own freelance writing business, which was a dream come true. I'd always wanted to do that since being a kid. I started to look better, feel healthier. I made amazing friends. I finally knew what friends were. Like what proper friends were, not bullies in disguise. I felt happy, I felt liberated, I was sober, I wasn't depressed. I was full of optimism, excitement. The world was going to be mine. Hurrah! And then came another bang bout of depression. As I said last time, my drinking had always been a symptom of my depression and not the other way round. Just because I stopped drinking didn't mean depression went away, and it came back, and it came back hard. It came back harder because I couldn't now run away and hide and mask the pain or numb the pain in alcohol. I had to face it, so I had to face the raw reality of my own depression. And it was so hard. It was the hardest one yet that I've ever had to go through. However, this bout of depression also gave me the strongest evidence I'd ever had that depression came after a traumatic experience, not during, and that if I went into my depression and I was here, I came out of my depression here, that my depression was like a growth spurt that I had to go through to reach another level, to grow, to become better in some way. This bout of depression came after I had knee surgery about a year or two into my sobriety to fix a knee injury that had been bothering me for like a decade. And I had this knee injury, it was called, I think it's MPFL surgery. They basically put something to stop my knee dislocating. And recovery was slow and painful. I was supposed to recover, by all expectations I was supposed to recover quickly, and I didn't. It was painful, I was scared. I was scared of putting my leg down. I ended up having a mental breakdown. I now call it a breakthrough. but at the time I called it a breakdown. I was a mess. I was becoming anxious all the time. I'd go out and have panic attacks again. I was still living at home at this point. I was in the process of trying to figure out moving out, but I hadn't done so yet. My brother's girlfriend moved in with us. We got into it big time. I got kicked out of the family home. And I spent a week living in a hotel until things settled down. And then, you know, there was a big tension in the family. A week after that happened, I got this intense stomach pain. I spent a week in hospital. I just started I was about a year into starting my business, and trying to run that from a hospital bed ain't gonna work. So things started to suffer there. Then finally things started to turn around for me. I came out of the hospital, I made amends as best as I could. I even got my own place. Hallelujah, I remember thinking. All this is over. All that traumatic experience is over. And I should have known this was going to come. The traumatic experience was over. I was sat about 5 feet away from where we're stood now at my desk. I'd been running my business in my own place. Life was good. I was optimistic. And I wanted to kill myself. I felt so low. So desperately low. I remembered what I spoke about last time. When people want to kill themselves, it's not always that they want to die. It's that their capacity to cope with pain is less than the actual pain they're experiencing. And they just can't see a way out. And that was me. I didn't actually want to be 6 feet underground. I just could not see a way forward. I felt trapped. I felt anxious. I felt desperate. All the colour drained from my life again. I could not see a way that I could continue. Lethargy consumed me. All the joy went in my life. Simple things like getting up, going to brush my teeth or have a shower became this huge challenge. I just wanted to hide under a blanket until the world passed me by. There was desperation, there was fear, there was misery. I couldn't talk to anyone. And yet, something this time was different. Despite how insane I was starting to feel, despite how much I felt like this was it, this was going to be the period of depression that finally killed me, that I wouldn't survive this without committing suicide. There was a part of me, and it was only a small part to begin with, but it grew. There was a small part of me that knew that even at the worst it was worth hanging on for. Because I had been through this before. Maybe not to this level, but the pain, my capacity to cope with the pain had grown, so that when I had my last bout of depression, before this one, I only had the same capacity to cope with that amount of pain. Now my capacity had grown, so the pain grew. And I knew that I had survived. What's that thing that gets plastered all over Facebook? You've survived 100% of your worst days. I was like, oh hell yeah, that is true. I had survived the worst of my depression in the past. And I knew that as much as I wanted to just end it, if I stuck with it, things would get better. And they did. And they became better again than I had ever known them. And as I said last time, that is the one message that I want anyone to take away from this, is that things do get better. because of rehabbing my knee, I started, really hitting the gym hard. I was on my mountain bike every day. I got really super fit and healthy. I know I may not look it now, but I did at the time. I look good. My business started to, because I poured all my heart and soul into work again because I had a lot of catching up to do. Business took off and was better than ever. I made some long-term, regular clients that I continue to work with to this day. I entered into a relationship. I hadn't been in a relationship for the 5 years since me and my ex split up. Now I was ready to take that on. I was feeling positive, optimistic, ready to take on the world once again. And like I said, my depression has always been a catalyst for a huge monumental change. So that bout of depression was the change to start doing more exercise, working harder, finding people that I could spend time with, learning to love myself. Because because of being bullied and experiences with my family, I'd grown up believing that I was bad, ugly and stupid. And it took a long time for me to learn that that wasn't the case. And I'm still learning that now. I started to realise that it was, because I had survived 100% of my worst days, because I had survived my depression, I couldn't be that bad and I couldn't be that stupid. And I started to look at myself in the mirror and suddenly I wasn't that ugly anymore. Look, I'm not telling you that I am Brad Pitt, but I look better than I thought I used to. Things started to change. And if you've seen any of my videos before, you'll know that they eventually led me to thinking about quitting smoking. That part of my journey has been well documented on YouTube. I'll put another one of those cards up there if I remember in the edit. You can go and check out some of my videos about quitting smoking. As I have said time and time and time again, quitting smoking was the hardest thing I think I've ever done. And I say this in context of dealing with the depression and all the other things that come with it. It was a battle, it was a war, this time not against myself but for myself. Hurrah, that's progress, right? A year ago, January 18th, 2017, I posted a video, 100 days smoke free, lessons I have learned. To date it is the most popular video that I've made. I posted that and then I should have seen this coming. I'd just overcome the traumatic experience of getting out of nicotine addiction and becoming smoke free. Guess what came to pay me a visit? It was depression. Except this time it was different again because I knew and I'd spoke about this to people and I'd written it in my journal. I knew that if I went into my depression and I was at that level, I may sink to there, but when I come out, you can bet your ass I'm coming out up there. 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 Up there. I knew that this was a growth spurt. I'm not saying it made the depression easier. My depression of 2017 was the most painful I'd ever had. Every single morning I would wake up and think, right, today there's a tree outside my house. Today's the day that I go and hang myself from that tree. And yet I didn't even have the energy or the motivation to do that. I ended up on my sofa, day in, day out, sleeping the day around, eating. All that weight that I'd lost I put back on. The colour drained from my life. I felt trapped. I kept telling people I wanted to die. But the truth remained somewhere deep within me. I didn't want to die, I just wanted the pain to stop. I wanted the aching void to stop consuming me and to shrivel and shrink and fill up and go away. I could not see a way forward. I could not see a way out. But I knew that there was one. I talked to friends and they'd try to be helpful. They'd say things to me like, "You have so much to live for." And they meant well. But that just made me feel worse. Because I knew that it was true, and I was like, well, okay, I've got so much to live for, so why do I feel so bad? What is wrong with me? There is something wrong with me. I must be a terrible person. Down went the self-esteem again. They would say to me, "Don't worry, Chris, this too shall pass. This too shall pass." And I knew that they meant well, and I knew that they were true, because all my experiences had told me, yes, this too shall pass. But at the time, the pain was unbearable. And knowing that it passed gave me a little comfort when I was constantly on my mind. I can't tolerate this anymore. I've done 30 odd years of this pain and this emptiness. I just want it to stop and go away now. I just want peace. Every time I came close, I would get a step closer, and a step closer, and a step closer to finally ending my life. Something stepped in and pushed me back and said, "Chris, you need to stick with this, because you know that this is a growth, that this is the catalyst for big positive changes in your life, that there must be a reason for this depression, that you must be as low as you feel and as drained of energy as you feel right now. It must be because you need your energy for something big." Some days it was easier to tap into that than others, but that's how it was. I felt like killing myself, and every time I felt like killing myself, that would come in and say, "No, don't do it, because something good is on the horizon for you." And guess what? It was. I cannot put a date on when that depression lifted. It wasn't that I woke up one morning and went, "Hurrah, I'm cured." Isn't it wonderful? It wasn't like that. What it was like was a slow and steady process of taking one step forward. Sometimes it was 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but I kept getting forward. Until eventually I came out the other side of my depression, and just as I knew was going to happen, I came out better than ever. I had this moment of clarity about my life and where I was going and what I was doing. I had this greater sense of clarity about all that. I had a greater sense of passion and purpose for my life and what I was going to do. I decided what I really needed was to help people. Not what I needed, but what I wanted, what I felt drawn towards was helping others. I started posting regular videos on my YouTube channel, talking about my experiences with drinking and with quitting smoking, and the lessons I'd learned, just so that one person might watch it and go, "Do you know what, that's going to help me." And I've spoken to people since who've seen those videos and said that they helped them, and that makes me feel amazing. So thank you. If that's you, thank you for that. I looked into college courses. This past week I went back to school for the first time in years. I'm training to be a counsellor so that I can help people who've been through similar experiences to me, so that we can, so that hopefully I can help them in some way. On a personal level, I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here talking to you. I genuinely feel that. I do more exercise, I eat better, I spend more time outside in nature, breathing in fresh air. It's amazing. My relationships with my family, my friends, romantic relationships have improved. And I have this overwhelming sense of gratitude that I nurture and grow every single day of my life. I keep a gratitude journal these days, and it does 2 things for me. One, it helps me to keep depression at bay one day at a time, because I find if I am grateful, and I don't just mean writing down I am grateful, I mean feeling in here, I am grateful for what I have today, then it's very hard to feel depressed. It also helps me because it makes those bouts of depression make sense. It helps me to take a step back and look at the long-term view of my life and realise that I am so grateful for my sense of peace and freedom and happiness today, because I know what it's like to have no happiness, no peace and no freedom, to be trapped inside that bout of depression. I know what that's like, and I can compare the two and go, oh hell yeah, I love this a lot more. So I'm grateful for my lot in life today. And I needed those bouts of depression because they made me who I am. And for the first time in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen, I actually like who I am. I am not conceited, I am not driven by ego. But I can look myself in the mirror and go, yeah, do you know what, that guy's alright. The way the light shines on his eye kind of makes him look like he's got a black eye. I assure you I don't, it's just the lighting. I will fix that for the next video. But I'm okay with who I am as a person today, and that's because I've been through those bouts of depression. I know today that I can go through anything. I can climb mountains, I can achieve my goals. I can talk to strangers, I can talk to you, let's chat after this. Let's go for a coffee. I can do all that because nothing is as terrible as going through suicidal depression. And I've been through that and survived and come out, and life started to get beautiful again. For today. But I'm not saying that I will never have depression again. I've never controlled my depression. I've never sat there and thought, I know what would be good right now. Let's feel really bad. I don't know if it's going to come again. What I do know is that if it comes, all my experiences have shown me that yes, my friends were right, and it does pass. Not only does it pass, but that it serves as the catalyst for positive change. That it's finally the kick up the bum that I need to make big changes, whether it's going to college, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, whatever it may be. I know today that when I get so depressed that I have no energy and I can't think straight and I'm going insane, it is my brain and my body withdrawing from the world, shutting down completely so that I can recharge and hit the world again with all the energy that I need to make these big positive changes. I know today that I don't want to die. I want to live. No matter how painful it gets, it is far worth it. Because if I had done something dumb during those spouts of suicidal depression, if I hung from the tree, if I'd gone through with overdoses and things like that, I wouldn't be here. And the things that I do enjoy today, I wouldn't be able to enjoy them. If you're watching this and you're in the midst of depression, I get it. It feels like there's nothing to enjoy. All the colour drains from your life. There is no joy at all. I've been there, I've experienced that, I know. But every now and again it lifts. And you get a taste of something amazing. And it makes it worth it. At least it does for me. So that's all I've got to say for today. Except to say thank you for watching. If you are going through any kind of depression, anxiety, whatever it may be at the minute, please know that there is a way out. And that suicide, alcohol, drugs are not it. Please know from the bottom of my heart that I truly believe that something beautiful is coming on its way for you. And if there is anything I can do to help in the meantime, reach out, grab my hand, We will get through it together. For more videos on alcoholism, quitting smoking, dealing with depression, all those kind of things, please hit the little subscribe button down below. I'm also on Twitter, on things like that. I'll leave links down below and in the credits of this. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Thank you.